Okay, so this is just a quick video just to show you how to lay a drawing out. So I've got a little model of a house here, and what I need to do is I need to add a drawing sheet using a preset template, and then I need to add my views and dimensions onto it. So if I go to the plus button here, I can add an element, and I'm going to create drawing. Previously you'll have been shown how to get hold of this GGS drawing template and make a copy of it from the public documents. So look at the video about that. Once you've downloaded it, you can click on it here, select it. If it doesn't appear in this list, you'll need to either go to my Onshape or created by me or something, and eventually you'll find it. So we're going to open that one, OK that, and that's going to create a drawing with that as a template. What that means is it's going to be metric, it's going to be laid out third angle orthographic, it's going to have a little border on it, and it's going to have this pre-drawn title block on it here as well. So when it first opens, it comes up with the opportunity to put a part in or an assembly. It starts off with the ones that are already open, so I've got some other documents here. Open it in this Onshape file. If I wanted something totally different, I could go and find it using that button there. So I'm going to go for the house, and I'm going to find that one there, and I'm going to bring it over to the window. If I just pause for a moment, it'll give me the view. I don't want that one to be the first view. I want it to be the right hand view. That one there, that's going to be my first view. Also, it looks immediately as if the scale's not going to be quite right. So if I wanted to change that, I can do it here. I'm going to make it 1 to 2, and I'm going to click on the sheet. It's going to give me the chance now, if I move, to put a second view in. And if I want to put my third view in, I need to click back on this elevation, and I can now go across to my end elevation. Now, if I decide that I don't like the scale, I'm just going to press the escape key. You'll see that my button stops. I'm now back to my cursor. Excuse me. If I want to change the scale at any point, I can right click on the sheet. I can go to the sheet properties, and I can change that back to 1 to 1 or whatever it is I want, and it will change those views. If I had a single view I wanted to change, so let's say I put in a little isometric view of the house here, so a little 3D view, that's going to be too big. So if I wanted to change just that one, press escape again. If I right click on that view, I can then somewhere change the view properties and change the scale here. So it comes up saying that 1 to 1 is the parent, so the sheet is 1 to 1, but I want to reduce that. I'm going to put that to that one there. Okay, and it tells me that's a different scale. We'll talk about what should be here another time. So there's my views. At this point, it'd be worth probably changing some of these texts in the title block. Particularly, it'd be worth putting your name in. You see when I hover over it, it starts to sort of change. So I can highlight a cell, and if I double click on that cell, oops, it's changed the size, undo that. If I double click on that cell there we go. Then it highlights this cell and the text. I can change that text, so I can put the name in there. And remember, when we do any text on an orthographic, we always use block capitals. So make sure you got your caps lock on. If I want to change to a different cell, I can use the arrow keys just to move my way across, or I can finish that and press it and double click it. It's up to you. Okay, so anyway, so you can put some suitable information in there, but make sure you've got your name on it, so when you're sharing it with me, I know whose it is. So dimensions, if I put some dimensions on here, I just wanted to show you something about Onshape, sort of default settings, which isn't great, I don't think. So there's one. Let's just put a couple of these on. Now, if I look at that, there's two things that strikes me. One is the text is very small. Also, the arrows are hardly visible, and there's very little gap between the geometry and the leader line. So we're going to change that. So once you put your dimensions on, what you can do is go to the spanner tool. I'll bring that out there. This is where all your settings for the drawings appear, and if you go to this one here that says dimensions, you can change. I would suggest your arrowheads are maybe 5 mil, and if we come down here, I would suggest that text gap should be more like 2, geometry gap 2, and extension line would be about 3. And you can see on the drawing here that they've changed. If you wanted to change your text as well, you can obviously do that too, if you thought it needed to be a bit bigger. And once you're happy with it, you can close that. So if I now put an arrow on, I think it should, here we go, come in with those settings. And okay, so the key thing with the drawing is to make it neat. You don't want huge arrows and huge labels and things, but they need to be visible. Now, if I just move that one up a wee bit, we want to think about the labels of the views, and again, remember, they need to be in block capitals. So that's going to be our elevation. Okay, that's going to be my plan, and that one's going to be my end elevation over here. So when you go on to your next drawings, your next project, I would actually start in here. So I've called this modelling practice. I've done my house here, done my drawing of my house, which I can change the name of by right clicking and renaming. I'd actually would then add in another part assembly here, and I'd have all my, that's the next prism look, that's your next task, and there's the drawing, and there's the following task there which I've not yet done. So I would actually add a part studio in this document, and then add another drawing, and then keep going, and you keep it all in one space. It's a bit more manageable, I find, but it's up to you. So that's just a little bit there on laying out those drawings, and hopefully that'll help you to start to get these looking a little bit neater. So when you get to your next one, have a look at this video, check how you're laying it out, check that you're getting your dimensions in the right places and the right sizes, check you've got your views right, maybe stick a little third orthographic, isometric, sorry, in the corner, and then change your labels to something sensible too.